Well, the constitutionality of Joe Biden's vaccine mandate for business is, of course, still very much in question. We know Biden's getting set to announce even more COVID policies in the coming days, even though for months they said they would never do such a thing, and many people just say, look, it's not legal. Joining me to discuss all of this is Senior Fellow with the National Center for Public Policy Research and the co-chair of the Project 21 National Advisory Board and legal commentator, Horace Cooper. Horace, good to see you again. So do tell me, what is going on with all of the mandates that we know that Joe Biden said he couldn't do, Jen Psaki said he couldn't do? You talked to a host of legal scholars. He doesn't have the power to dictate, especially when he says, well, if your company has more than 100 employees, you have to. But if you got 99 employees, I guess you don't. Where's the equal protection under the law? Where is the justification and the authority to do any of this?
Well, this administration is really trying something very, very unique, and that is publicly announcing that it doesn't have the authority to do things, claiming that it won't do things. I am speaking about the eviction policy that the Supreme Court had ruled on, and that the President of the United States said he understood that he didn't have the authority to go forward, and then promptly turned around and issued a ruling. Similarly, with these mandates, there is no stated power in the United States Constitution for the Congress of the United States to require people to wear a mask. The only power, therefore, that the president should be able to exercise are the powers that Congress, duly authorized under the Constitution, has given him or directed him as far as some lawful responsibility to carry out. There has been no such action, and frankly, I think the president would be on much stronger grounds if he at least went through the process of having our Congress of the United States actually look at, consider, and rule on it. When that isn't happening, the president's power is at its lowest, and it creates serious concerns for the American people in recognizing that we live in a constitutional republic and not a place where just one executive says and does whatever he wants.
Well, Horace, let me ask you this. I wonder how far he will go, and I say that because over the last few weeks he continues to push this idea of a booster shot for COVID, right? This third booster shot from Pfizer and Moderna. But as a result of that, the director of the FDA, Marion Gruber, cool name but no relation, and Deputy Director Phil Krause have both resigned. They say, listen, we're nowhere near ready to approve a booster vaccine, certainly not for the broad number of Americans. And so they're leaving. And I just wonder how far this president will go. He say, well, we don't need FDA approval. We'll get the third shots out anyway. I mean, he obviously doesn't respect constitutional authority or the separation of powers. Where does it end?
So this is one of the reasons why a network like this one is so important. If we had a working media, they would absolutely ask questions. When Donald Trump was president, every week we had to get a reaffirmation that that administration was not going to interfere with the scientific decisions of such important matters that were going to affect our health care. It is obvious that there are manipulations, there are attempts to influence and use the political process to affect our country's national government's medical policies. Why hasn't the media called out this administration? Now, what we do know is all you have to do is Google and look on YouTube or other places where they have videos where you can see the president promising that he's not going to do these things. It is really, really dismaying. And yet what I would say to you and your audience is, when this is challenged in federal court, it is going to be very, very difficult for this administration to prevail, having adopted a Tuesday the answer is no, but on Thursday the answer is yes. That doesn't fly with the courts.
No, it does not, and you see these happening all the time. But let me ask you something, a broader question, Horace. You've been an observer of politics in that city for a very long time. And I look at Anthony Blinken on the hot seat today. Fish out of water, unable to answer questions about what happened in Afghanistan. Alejandro Mayorkas, unable to answer a comprehensive or competent question about what's happening at the southern border. Merrick Garland saying, I'm going to be non-political, and then everything he does is completely political. Is there any member of this administration, the president on down, that you look at and say, that is a very competent person? That's my last question. I'll let you give me the last word.
Well, I can't, but it's not important what I can't see. It's much more important what the American people say. And they are saying in survey after survey that this administration is a disappointment. This administration is not carrying out its responsibilities capably. And I will tell you, for the first time since 1992, we are seeing surveys that show the American people say if they had to have a vote on the presidential election again, they would now no longer select Mr. Biden. That didn't happen in 92, it didn't happen in 96 or 2000 or at any point since. Very striking.
Yeah. 1 in 5 Democrats regret their vote for Joe Biden. Let that marinate. Horace Cooper, good to see you again, my friend. Glad you're back.
Thank you.